I decided I wanted to try out Sonic for the first time, and I started with Sonic Forces, and I've gotta say, it doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. I know, it has a lot of issues, and the reason the die-hard Sonic community doesn't like this one is because of a lot of what Sega promised out of this game leading up to its launch. But, for someone brand new to the franchise, I didn't hate this as a starting point. Welcome to my review of Sonic Forces, which I played through on the PlayStation 5. This is my first ever video game review on the channel, so please let me know that you want to see more of this by leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know when I drop new videos. Also, stay tuned until the end of the video to hear about a giveaway. Now, let's get on to the review. Sonic Forces was developed by Sonic Team and published by Sega. The game released on November 7th, 2017 for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It saw a release shortly after Sonic's 25th anniversary, which added an extra layer of anticipation and expectations to this title. Forces introduces a new avatar system, allowing players to create their own custom character to join Sonic and his friends in the fight against Eggman. This character, dubbed the quote-unquote custom hero, adds a unique twist to the game, providing players with the chance to experience the action from a personalized perspective. Okay, I just want to level set by explaining that I am brand new to Sonic, so this is just how I feel after only playing Forces. I understand most people think it is only up from here, but this is all I have to go off of, and my opinions on the gameplay will be based on that. Levels are broken out into either fully 2D levels or a blend of 3D and 2D levels, depending on if you are playing with classic Sonic or modern Sonic / your avatar. More on this later. As someone who is new to Sonic games but grew up with classic platforming games like Super Mario Bros. 3 on NES and Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation 1, the controls feel great to me in this one. I felt like I had control over Sonic and my avatar in every level, even if at some points in time the speed of who I was controlling became a bit overwhelming for me. Most of the progression that comes out of this is just earning various cosmetics as you progress throughout the story, which can then be equipped for your avatar. There was also an ongoing medal system as I played through the game that showed at the end of levels, but still not really sure what that was supposed to be for. As to be expected, the 2D levels take longer and are more fleshed out than their 3D counterparts due to how much time it takes to make a 3D level compared to a 2D one. From my understanding, game development of Forces was rushed, and this is evident by the disparity between the 2D and 3D levels. Within the 3D levels, there aren't ever entirely 3D, as most of the time you still have to go through 2D segments within them in order to make them longer levels to get through, which I wasn't really the biggest fan of. For me, it was jarring because the classic Sonic levels that are locked to 2D control very differently than the 3D levels, so when I was controlling either my avatar or modern Sonic, and then it switched to the 2D part but I still had 3D controls, my brain just struggled on how I was supposed to move throughout the level. Sonic Forces takes place in a world where Dr. Eggman has successfully conquered much of the planet, leading to a darker, more dystopian storyline compared to earlier Sonic games. The game's narrative centers on Sonic and his allies attempting to fight back against Eggman and a new mysterious villain, Infinite. Infinite, a new antagonist, poses a major threat due to his ability to distort reality and summon powerful monsters. The story pits Sonic against an overwhelming force, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. When it comes to character development, there really isn't much to be had in this game. In all honesty, when I decided I wanted to pick up a Sonic game for the first time, I wasn't picking it up because I thought it was going to have a riveting story. I just wanted a fun game that was going to give me a good intro into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. If you went into this game expecting a grand story, I can see where this one would be a pretty big letdown. The most confusing part of the story in this game is when very early on, classic Sonic appears through a portal to help out with the Resistance fighters. Tails explains that it must have something to do with Infinite and his powers, but we really know that after the success of Sonic Generations, they just thought they could capitalize on that direction again. This makes the story really tough because the Avatar character does not have any voice lines, and neither does classic Sonic. So the only one of the three main characters that talks is modern Sonic, which makes for a lot of pantomiming in scenes. Despite my complaints, the story of this game did not bother me. I didn't think it was all too deep or anything like that, but it wasn't cringy or anywhere near the worst story I've played through in a video game. In fact, I was invested enough that I started reading the IDW comics after I completed the game because I was so excited to continue to follow along with these characters. The art direction in this game is awesome. I loved all of the level designs and the unique environments that were present. I think this game really benefited from the darker tone as it made the level variety in this dystopian society work really well. This game has been out for 7 years, so I'd assume that a lot of the bugs and complaints of frame rate from the game's launch have since been fixed in patches. I'm sure that playing this on the PS5 when the game launched on a PS4 gave me a good performance boost as well. Regardless, man, this game is gorgeous. Every single level looks amazing, and the character models all look stunning as well. I love playing through this and seeing all the vibrant and gorgeous environments. The only time that the performance of the game took a dip was during the what I assumed were pre-rendered cutscenes. Some of the cutscenes that did not involve the avatars seemed like they were pre-rendered because the visual quality of these scenes had a noticeable dip in resolution, and the audio track kept getting misaligned to what the characters were actually saying. At best it was by a second or two, but at worst, a voice line would be said 5 or more seconds after I saw the character open their mouth and speak. When you play a Sonic game, you know you are going to hear some amazing tracks. At least that's what I've always heard. Once again, no complaints from me here. I didn't think that there were any tracks that were outstanding or anything like that, but I did have a few instances where I would step away from the game to do something else, and a song from a stage I just completed would be stuck in my head. Overall, I had a great time jumping into the Sonic games for the very first time with Forces. I know a lot of the Sonic community has their problem with this game, but for me, I feel like it was the perfect entry point for someone new to this universe. I cannot wait to play more games and experience more of what makes this franchise so special. To anyone who is new to Sonic and is thinking, where is a good starting point? I think this is an excellent place to start, especially if you plan on reading the IDW comics and want to be more invested in the overall current canon. Once again, I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch and listen to my review of Sonic Forces. In honor of my first video game review on the channel, I want to give away one copy of Sonic X Shadow Generations on the platform of your choice. All you've got to do to enter is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below on your platform of choice. You can gain one extra entry by sharing the video on TikTok that talks about this giveaway. Winner will be announced on Black Friday at 5 PM Pacific Standard Time. I plan on reviewing more Sonic games, as well as other games that I am interested in, but please let me know if there's anything specific you want me to check out. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
You just got to share the secret of your power with me. I insist.
You're insisting.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa! Sonic, you okay? Oh!